Hey, how y'all doing? Tony Sandoval, Handyman Services. One more time, we're out here, folks. Um, Today, still working with power tools, or back onto them, I guess. Last one was not, but anyway, a couple things have got me. One, I want to talk about this particular drill driver combo by Worx again. Yes, Worx Nitro drill driver and hammer drill. And mentioning hammer drill, another thing that's got me going, part of that is, I don't know if you guys watch another channel called VCG Construction, guy named Vince on there. Love the channel, love Vince. I think these guys are great. I like to watch it. Helps you learn. But one of the things that Vince, who's on there, and the guys, like most of the big programs or video producers, content creators, whatever you want to call them, especially when it comes to tools, tool reviews, they are under, I know, not under the influence, but they've got the attitude. They cater, okay? They cater towards what they think is who's the authority in tools and tool use, and so they direct all of their effort and concentration on people working in trades, on construction job sites, as the end all be all, and especially in particular your hands-on day-to-day, framers and builders, plumbers, etc. People who, are going to hold a drill or a tool, 6 hours out of 8 or out of 10 or whatever. And these are their authority. This is pro to them. If you're not one of those very specific trade group guys, you're not pro, or the tool is not pro to them. And I think that's a big mistake for them, because there are actually an entire world of people who are professionals. There's Pete. Say hi to Pete. Pete's busy chasing squirrels back here. But literally, he is. But they want to cater to this idea that, it's only this group. But I'm saying there's other people that are professional who may not use tools the same way, but need the same kind of reliability, the same kind of power, maybe not, again, to the same degrees, the same amounts or limits of power, especially power. They're so focused on power. And power is not the only thing that necessarily makes something a pro-grade tool, okay? And jumping back to that, okay, Vince did a thing recently on the VCG channel talking about hammer drills in particular, and why he thinks that a hammer drill is an unnecessary tool anymore, because you got so many specialty types of drill drivers, and that a real pro doesn't need that anymore. Or if they do, they would get a hammer drill kind of a thing rather, because that would be considered pro to the kind of work they do now. And that's all the thing that makes it a pro anymore. Pro grade, pro need, pro use. And we've got a world full of people who are technicians, installers, they on-site repair, on-site configuration, and they're every bit the professional and have need and use for professional grade tools, things that are durable, tools that are reliable, tools that get the job done, that meet the need, okay? And this is, to me, the biggest failure. Sorry, Vince. The biggest failure of channels like those is they really want to exclude other professionals. Hey, we're the only real professionals because we're macho, yeah, more power. You guys, you got to stop this. This is a fallacy, because you're alienating a lot of professionals that are out there, especially in technical areas, who use a tool just like this to do a lot of things like mounting, installing, configuring, replacing. I mean, there's so many things that professional technicians, handyman types, need a tool like this for that is professional, but is not on a job site building 20, all day long. It's just because the need is different does not make it less professional. Okay, so let's bring it back now to a hammer drill, and B, the Worx Nitro hammer drill. Now I've had this drill for a few months now. I got it earlier this year, like, I don't know, March, I'm thinking. Got that, got the, it's a hammer drill, it's a combo drill driver, it's got the, of course, I got the Powershare Pro batteries, 4 amp hour. I won't put anything less than a 4 amp hour battery, and I generally won't put anything more than a 4 amp hour battery on a tool like this. I've got multiple 4 amp hour batteries, because then it starts to get too heavy, too unwieldy, awkward. To start getting bigger, blockier, harder to handle. But a good 4 amp hour battery, I'm telling you right now, perfect for a tool like this. So this is a bit of a compact hammer drill driver. The nice thing about it is it's got a 2-speed selector on top, okay, like every one of their other drills. It has a hammer drill driver, regular drill selector here. So right now it's set on regular drill. We go that way, it's hammer drill. And if we come back this way, we start seeing the numbers, and it's up through 1 through 22 for the driver. Okay, I love the fact that, yes, it goes through 22 of them, and it's a mechanical, the word, sorry, ADHD moment here. Anyway, you select up to 22 speeds, and it's mechanical and not electrical, or computer, and so, in my opinion, the better driver selector, because it's better controlled. Okay, now I'll be honest, the only time, and I do this a lot, that I use this particular one, and you can see it gets worn. I mean, it's got its fair share of use here, but really I only use this in limited cases. One, mounting and installing. I have to attach a lot of different things to concrete posts, handrails, just mounting plates, mounting guides, holders, frames to concrete, on the sides of houses, on the foundations, on walls, on driveways, on just pillars, columns, basement walls, for shelving and racking, and this has proven to be excellent to do that job when I needed to do it. It has the power. Now remember, we're talking about drilling holes to put in, concrete fasteners that are maybe up to 1.5 inches, 2 inches max deep. Okay, we're not talking about you setting up, power poles out on the street. That's whole different usage, case need. We're not talking about doing those things. We're talking about common building, repairing, installing around a residential or a business, commercial kind of use. Okay, in somebody's shop, somebody's warehouse, somebody's store, somebody's basement, Okay, so this is going to be a lighter need than a heavy duty construction. And this will drill that 1.5 to 2 inch hole depth into concrete, through concrete, just fine. I have done this way more than hundreds of times with this particular tool, so that I can mount all of those things and more over the past, since March with this one. Okay, there are cases where I've got certain drill bits that are fit into this kind of a chuck, which is your standard bit. Okay, especially longer bits, you know, and I'm talking, you know, your 12 to 16 inch long bits or so, and you're talking up to 1.5 inch diameter, you know, to bore out, you know, in framing, uh, in rafters, just going through, you know, beams of 4x4, 6x6. This does it fine. When it comes to driving, I really don't use this a lot for driving anymore. Um, I have an impact driver. You've seen me talk about it on here before. But if I really got to have a fine touch because I'm worried about over penetration or damaging what I'm using, the strap or the mounting plate or whatever it is that I'm putting a screw to, and I really am concerned about it, and I don't know that I don't feel like my impact driver is gonna have a delicate enough touch, then I will use this to fasten. And that's where the driver speeds, levels really come in handy. Okay, and the more, again, anything, if it's got over 10, you know you're going to get really good accuracy just across the board. I don't care what brand it is. It's more in the auto, in the mechanical clutch. You know, the more selections it has, the better fine control you're going to have. Okay, and that's really what's important. And that's where, if I have to put, you know, like as part of a mounting plate, a piece of plastic in between some metal and some concrete, I don't want to break that plastic. I'm going to set it really way down so that it's not going to over torque and bust that up. That happens a lot, especially when people have kits, you know, sets that they've bought, they want those installed, and they've got the less than, you know, metal, less than, you know, dense plastic. It's finer looking material that's got to be put in there. You don't want to crack that or break that, so you want to have a delicate touch. This can do that really well. This particular, again, I'm sold on Worx, and particularly Worx Nitro brand, because again, the Nitro takes advantage of the brushless motor. It takes advantage of using the Pro batteries. The Pro batteries are computer cooperative with a brushless motor. So the electronics in here work with this to conserve and maximize the best, most efficient use of the battery and the power. That's a super important thing. I can't even, the difference between this and one of their standard non-Pro batteries is phenomenal. How fast this tool will go through a regular battery compared to the power consumption on a Pro. It's totally different worlds. And I'm not saying the other batteries are bad. They're just the way the tool is designed to work with the battery. They made it to be that way. You get the best use out of it. And on a job site, I want the battery that's going to get the best, most efficient use and last longer before I have to change batteries. The Pro battery with the Nitro is the combination. They planned it well. I mean, they know what they're doing selling the battery system for it. So, you know, I say it every video, but I have dropped these because I got sort of a klutz. I'm very impulsive. Call it an ADHD thing, I guess, you know, because I am in you know, impulsive. You just reach out and grab. You try to spontaneously do a lot of things because that's the way our brains are wired. Either way, as a handyman, that doesn't always work well for my tools because I'll be at the top of a ladder, I'll be working with something, and there I go to grab, and boom, I brush it, and I am kind of, you know, kind of hard on tools. So this has tumbled more than once. Battery literally popped right off as it hit the ground. Pick it back up, pop the battery back in. There you go. And it works. Okay? I have no question about the quality, durability of the Worx brand as a professional grade tool. I'll hold this up to Bosch. I have Bosch tools. I have Milwaukee tools. I will hold this up to every one of them in terms of durability. It is fantastic that way. And I have gone through some tools And I'm going to reference ADHD here again because we call it the ADHD tax, because we do things that cause us to have to pay more money, like breaking tools by knocking them off accidentally, and then oops, now I got to buy a new drill or a new battery because the impulsivity. There's a whole lot of stuff in there. Either way, I go through tools, I go through these things, and that's a part of that. This really was a good investment, and it was really not as costful, not as expensive as a lot of the other brands, and I still get what I believe is very similar quality. Power, I'm going through 6-inch slabs of concrete to mount anchor bolts. I mean, that's kind of what I needed, up to about a 6-inch thick wall, or a driveway, or, whatever. And most of those are 4 inches, 4 to 6, going into a lot of different things, but never not much more than that. And I mean, if I had to do that more often, I'd use the not a hammer drill. That's a hammer drill. You know what I mean. Anyway, the SDS. This here, again, as with all of them, you've got, it's got the left, right, center is your lock, so that way you're not pressing the trigger. You've got the light here. Press the trigger, you get the light. It lasts for around like 20 seconds. So, and it's aimed very well. I like how it aims, and that you have good light on where you're drilling into. Metal chuck. You're not playing with plastic, and it's metal framed here. Very durable. This is aluminum. This is a steel, I believe. It's solid. It's well built. You hold on to it, and it feels really good. Again, you got your 2-speed. First is lower torques, 2 is higher speed. This is important. You really see the difference on a drill like this. When you're drilling, make sure you are in 2, because otherwise you're going to be there all dang day. Now, if you're going into concrete, then go into 1. Seriously. Or if I'm boring into like a 6x6 wood post and I'm having to drill 1.5 inch speed bore or something like that, I'm probably going to go with 1 also. But in a lot of those cases, I could still go 2, and it's going to be a lot faster, and that's important because you need the speed, not just for, hey, I want to get done quick, but to make that cut better, cleaner. Okay, and that's important. So, but it's got the 1 and 2. You use them; they're very noticeably in the ways that you need to use those for torque or for speed and or. I can't say this tool has disappointed me, like all of them so far. This is a nice, handy little drill, driver, hammer, drill thing. So, yes, this is pro quality. My opinion, as a pro, I make my living putting up electronics, cameras, sensors, lighting for a lot of commercial companies. I've got a couple national chains where I am their local, hey, go mount this camera, go mount that light, go mount this sensor onto poles, literally by the street poles, light poles, power poles. That's what I do. I do mostly commercial stuff. I've got some complexes where they need somebody outside their normal, thing. They need somebody that's going to have the tools, the experience, the ability to do that. And with these tools, I'm able to do that commercial work as well as some residential work still. So, quality, yes. Power is going to be as needed, speed as needed for the job you're working on. That doesn't necessarily mean just because you're not on building houses or, where buildings day and night, pouring concrete, bridges. Hey, more power to you guys. I'm not saying you're not pros or whatever, your tools aren't pro grade. I'm just saying just because you are doesn't mean everybody else is not. It just means everybody else that is pro is a different category of pro. and they need to be able to rely on different categories of professional grade tools. Okay? Power does not make it the only one. And tools like this are affordable because they only produce the power needed for the kind of work they need to do. Okay? And a little bit extra. They surprise you sometimes. Hammer drill? Yes. If you're not beating into concrete all day long, then you will find yourself using something like this. If again you're an install tech, you are any kind of tech that does installation, configuration, mounting, anything like that, cable install, I mean, you'll find yourself in so many ways needing to have a good, reliable, heavy duty, capable. And when I say heavy duty, again, I'm talking about the ability to get the job done in terms of it's not just going to break and fall apart on you right away. A hammer drill, is going to be just fine, and it is a pro grade. And yes, if you use it for that kind of work, it is a pro type of tool, and it is still necessary. You can have all the specialized installation drills, with the fancy pop-off things and notches and right angles and whatever else. Those are great. I love those. I've got one. That doesn't mean it replaces everything this can do, or the things that I specifically need this one to do. Just like I wouldn't say this can replace those, because I got those for specialty reasons, we buy the tools we need to do the jobs we need them to do. And so just because one guy, 10 guys on 10 different channels, review channels, say, oh, this ain't even worth it no more, if it can't do all of these things and make julienne fries and all that, then it ain't worth having, or it ain't pro. No, stop that, guys. This is a good tool. It's a good brand. I've come to find that it is reliable. It is durable. It has got the power I need it to have. It is a good tool. And as a hammer drill, when I need to get into some concrete and mount them anchors in there, this gets it done, and then some. So, very happy with my combo drill driver hammer drill. I can't say that it has, like many of the others, let me down. And keep in mind all the other stuff, just because you don't do the same thing as guys building on job sites all day doesn't mean you're not a pro. Just means the kind of professional work you do is a different kind of pro work, and that's okay. That's exactly what the world needs. All right, folks, been another one of them great days between me and Pete over here. He's got another squirrel cornered, and we're gonna tell you to have a great day and go make some things, go build some things, have some fun today.